Angelinos may soon be allowed to keep bees closer than you think in their very own backyard. Valley View's Jennifer Rufer has the story.
Some Los Angeles residents are buzzing about the new regulations surrounding urban beekeeping, following other big cities like New York and San Francisco. Urban beekeepers are gathering around Los Angeles to learn more about keeping bees in the city. Chelsea McFarland started nonprofit Honey Love with her husband to protect honeybees and inspire other urban beekeepers.
We're treating them like members of the family, essentially. You know, we want them to be safe, we want them to be happy, we want them to be healthy.
Novice beekeeper James Crowell came to Honey Love's Beekeeping 101 class to learn more about beekeeping.
Everybody has such a phobia of bees, and really they're not that scary once you're around them.
He says the class taught him tricks to keep his bees from buzzing off, like placing them in just enough shade but partly in the sun.
A water source, which is good for me. I've got a natural pond going, so that helps out. And then tonight I'm going to try some lemongrass inside of the box to see if that will attract them into the box.
Second-generation beekeeper Paul Hakaimian says bees aren't new to the Los Angeles area. In fact, there are 9 to 13 hives per square mile in LA.
They're in your neighborhood, so having bees right here means I took them from that roof that was 3 feet over and moved them into a box.
He says the constant buzzing from his 6 hives hasn't bothered his neighbors. Instead, they applaud what he's doing.
As long as I share the honey, they're okay with it. So.
1 out of every 3 or 4 bites of food you take are pollinated by bees. Bees are responsible for about 80% of the world's plants, or 90 different crops, like almonds, blueberries, and avocados. Los Angeles County recently voted to approve a feasibility study allowing urban beekeeping in residential areas because of the decline in the bee population. Colony collapse disorder is affecting about 30% of bee colonies every year, compared with the usual winter loss of about 2 to 5%. California State Beekeepers Association President Bill Lewis started keeping bees as a hobby more than 20 years ago. He says honeybees are especially important to the biggest crop income producer in California, almond orchards. The 8,000 acres of trees require about 1.6 million colonies of bees. And that's only the beginning. Farmers expect to have about 1 million acres of almonds in 10 years, requiring more bees.
And they have to have honeybees to pollinate those flowers, or they won't get any nuts.
Are urban beekeepers going to solve colony collapse disorder? No. I mean, it's huge. You know, it's a global problem. What we're trying to do is help.
Beekeepers expect the feasibility study to be completed in a couple months. Back to you guys in the studio.